the know, just can't watch a show to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's tailored to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's tailored to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. Watch the show to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's tailored to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's tailored to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue.
One thing for sure and two things for certain is I'm never going to hear you out if what I'm hearing is stupid. I'm not going to hear that. I'm not going to receive that. That's not my ministry. A lot of y'all sit and give too much of y'all time and effort to people who don't deserve it. Why would you be listening to somebody telling you that 2 + 2 is 92 when you know it's not? That is a waste of my time. It's not of the kingdom. It's not. And I would not subject myself to foolishness, okay? Because I don't like to consider myself to be foolish, so I don't want to sit with it. No, it ain't nothing we can do. We done talking. I'm done talking. I'm done listening as well. Yeah, so I don't know who needs to hear that. I hope it reaches you and I hope it touches your spirit. Stop entertaining foolishness. Because people will start seeing you as foolish or somebody to be played with. And I don't like to be played with. Go play Atari. Go play some spades. But don't play with me. All right, love you, bye. One thing for sure.
Mic was off because it's been a crazy day today. I'm sure that you all have had a day today if you were paying attention in the news, Charlie Kirk was I'm going to say allegedly assassinated today. And that's been all over the news. I put a link in the chat to this great YouTube channel called Agenda Free TV. And you can go there, and he is doing live updates right now. So he's doing live updates. He puts links to everything that he reads in there, everything that he finds on Twitter, wherever he finds it. He usually uses like Rooter, AP, in those outlets. He doesn't really use so much the ones that are biased and have their own personal agendas going on. He uses the non-biased platforms, Associated Press, Rooter, those types of outlets, and a few that are on Twitter X. But he puts all the links in the chats for you, and he finds everything in real time. And I'm sure he'll be up all night tonight doing this, following this story. And he's currently now listening to the Utah county scanner, to see if he can hear anything about the suspect. They took 2 people into custody and they let 2 people go. So they still have not found the shooter from earlier today. So loads of things going on in the news today. All right, hold on. Here I go. Child, let me turn this down. I'm going to get to speaking in 1 second. Please forgive me. All righty. All right, let's see. Let's see who we got in the building today. We are going to have a very interesting conversation today. All right. Hey, French, how you doing? Hey, Condia. Hey, Dave Bryson. Hey, Enrique, H-Bag. Let's see who else. Hey, Jim C. How you doing? Hey, Juan Miguel. Is that Justin? Hey, Justin, how you doing? I want to say thank you to all of my mods. Tina Williams, what's up to all of my mods? Justin, nope, not even. Jody, Foxy2, Roxy, Golfer, everyone that is a mod over here. Thank you so much for being a mod on this channel and sticking with this channel through all of the things that we have been going through and are going through. I really appreciate everybody that has stuck with this channel. Yeah, yeah, French, we're going to cover that today too. Hey, Gloria Clements, how are you? So going forward on this channel, like nothing has changed for us over here. We're going to call out corruption. We're going to call out things that are not right. Like I told you all before, I genuinely like everyone that I have met and come in contact with, as far as administration, as far as people. Nothing about this for me is personal, and everything is for the residents. Everything for me on this channel is for the residents. And trust me, I've heard all of the things that are being said about me everywhere. And I told you guys in our car chat that I no longer give a damn. Say whatever you want about me. I don't care. I'm busy over here. I want to stay focused on the residents. I want to stay focused on getting information out on the residents. You can call me fat. You can call me black. You can call me ugly. But one thing you don't have to worry about calling me is your friend. Okay? So you can waste all the time you want talking about me. You can waste all the time on your platform telling people that you don't care anything about me and you're not worried about me, but you steady talking about me and mentioning my name and making references to me and making subliminal messages to me. But let me tell you where I draw the line. I draw the line at my children. That's where I draw the line at. You can do whatever you want about me, but I draw the line at my children and speaking about my dead husband. I draw the line at those places because some people don't have boundaries. right? Some people do not have boundaries. If the person that is talking or the people that is talking, if you're wondering why you are having the life that you are having, think about the things that you are doing and the things that you are saying. That's why you having the life you having. That's why things are happening to you the way they are. Yeah, because I'm literally over here praying that you have the day, the life, the minute, the hour, and the second that you deserve. In Jesus' name. Oh, okay. Okay. Now that we have that out of the way, I just want to let you all know that I don't care about nothing they say. So nobody needs to come in the chat and tell me anything because I don't care. And I said what I said. And if you keep it up, I will file my own papers. Because if you don't think about me, ain't no need for you to be talking about me. Do whatever it is that you call yourself doing. Go on and do it. Because so what? Oh, okay. Now over here, we have the same agenda. We are over here. We are for the residents. We want the residents to stay informed. We want the residents, we're not here to be liked. We're here to be heard, right? We are here to talk about things that are not right in our government, things that we want to see that are be made different. You know, that's what I'm here for. Hey, Deb Hill, how are you? So that's what I'm about. And I'm about that for any municipality that I find. I have covered Tinley. I have covered Kankakee. So people up here, sitting up here, acting like it's crazy for me to go to these places or I don't have no business over here. Listen, this is my platform and I can do whatever the hell I want to do and I will. I will take and put gas in my car and go wherever I want to go. You just make sure that you don't give me no money to do it if that's what you worried about. But over here on this platform, I don't beg anybody to give me any money. I don't tell anybody about any ways to resource nothing. If you want to give, fine. If you don't, fine. None of those things have been my goal. And because of that, God has supplied my every need. Just in case you was wondering. And I started this platform after I was treated horribly by some other folks. After the other people did not stay on task. So I started my own channel so that I could be on task at my purpose and the goal of what I wanted to do in society as a purpose in my life. So I don't need your permission to carry on my platform. I don't need nobody's permission to talk about what I'm talking about because I can talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about on this platform. And guess what? You have the right to not tune in, to not subscribe, and to not ever watch a video from over here. You have that right. I pray you exercise it. I have never come up against so much opposition in just trying to do the right thing. So this is diabolical that any of this is even being talked about or said anything about. And Deb Hill, I'm so glad for you that you are, because now you know what to look for. Now you know how to foil. Now you know how to see patterns and when things are looking, out of whack. So I'm very glad for that I could help bridge the gap for that. And so now, with that being said, I don't regret anybody that I came across in this journey. And like I said, my whole goal is just to do the right thing. No, I'm not going to be quiet because it's somebody that I like. No, I'm not going to be quiet because this was the best option, but now look at what they're doing. No, I'm not going to be quiet. No, because we should be giving the same energy that we gave. If it was wrong then, it's wrong now. Nothing has changed about that. I don't care if 2 people watch me. When I started this out, nobody was watching me. Zero people were watching me. And so I had resigned myself to making videos and posting them. And I did that for a little while. And then I began to say, I'm just going to go live no matter what. And I did that. And I'm glad that I did that. And so now here we are. So, we just going to report. We just going to give our opinion. You don't have to agree with my opinion. It's my opinion. But we'll have a conversation here, and all opinions here are welcome. Okay? All right. So before we talk about this, what happened in Dolton yesterday, let's discuss something that I wanted to discuss concerning the swearing in of the new police chief, what happened at that particular meeting, right? Hey, the plant lady. So we're going to look at an agenda. Let me put this up on the screen. All right. So this is the agenda from the police chief swearing in. Let me make it bigger so you all can see it. I got to wait to make sure you can see it. All right. So this was the agenda from the night that the police chief got sworn in. This was the agenda from that night. If you look at the date, it says Tuesday, September 2nd at 6:30 p.m. And under new business, 11A was swearing in. Okay. But what I want to talk about specifically in a little recap of that night, because the corned beef factory, they literally talked. So if you haven't seen this live on my page, it says Dolton Police Chief swearing in, I believe. And these are the things, the action items that they took that night. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to play a video from that night, but I was looking for the village's video. Well, the village does not have any video up of that night. I'm not going to make any assumptions about why they don't have it up, but I want to show you in real time, because there was a comment made that I have ill will towards Dolton and the administration of Dolton, and I do not dislike anyone there. I like all of those people. They're nice people. Do they like me? From what I'm being told, no. And that's okay. Everybody gets the right to have their view. We're also going to talk about the Thornton Township meeting. I'm just going to make a passing comment because, yeah. Okay, so I found the video. So I went to live video and it wasn't there. So they must have had to re-upload the video because it's not under the live video. So the actual video that was being done at the time, let me share this tab so nobody thinks I'm crazy. So the video that was the live video, see this right here, it says live. The September 2nd meeting isn't under the live. So you actually don't have the live video on here. looks like they re-uploaded the video. And so I think this is maybe an edited version. Because the video should have actually been like 2 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes long. Because I have it on my page and I was there live, of course, and it's 2 hours and 45 minutes long. So the video has been edited for whatever reason. I don't know if there was a sound issue or something like that. I would have hoped that they would have maybe put some sort of thumbnail to tell you that this is an edited version because the audio was messed up or something happened that night. But yeah, it's under videos now. So it's not under live videos if you're looking for it. It is under videos because I believe that the video has been edited or whatever because it's only an hour and 23 minutes. I'm going to take you to my page. This is my YouTube channel here. See, it says Dolton, new police chief. I'll wait for the thing to flip. And it's actually 2 hours and about 45 minutes long. So, all right. Now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to get to, yeah, Deb Hill edited. Hold on. Let me see what y'all saying because I saw a few videos, but don't really understand what happened last week. Why? He's going to be the next George Santos in the Congress. I hope he doesn't get far. So funny. That's a link to police chief swearing in. Thank you, Dave Bryson. And thank you, Dave Bryson, for I forgot to list you in the mods. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's go back to the agenda because I have a question. It is a question. It is 11D. 11D is my question. It says requesting authorization for the Village of Dolton to seek tax anticipation funding for up to $4.4 million from Wintrust Bank. Let's now go to the video on my page. And we're going to watch this snippet because then we're going to talk about my comment for this action item or my question. It's really a question.
Trustee Thomas. Motion passed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll get the pre-construction meeting scheduled ASAP.
So next we have 4 items that were recommended from our finance team as well as administrator. Items D, E, F, and G, I will read them into record. I'll recommend that we bundle all. Item D being a request authorizing the tax anticipated warrant, 4.4 million. This item is so that we can make it as property tax revenue will come in delayed. We are seeking a loan upfront or an advance on that loan so that way the village is able to stay afloat. Item E, the approval and adoption of the ordinance budget number 25-008. This budget had been discussed at our public hearing about approximately 2 weeks ago. Items F, discussion and approval of the water rate ordinance number 25-009. Also discussed at our public hearing in conjunction with our budget. And item G, discussion and approval of the sales tax ordinance 25-010. Similarly discussed in our public hearing 2 weeks ago. Ask for a motion that we bundle items D, E, F, and G.
I make a move. Second.
Heard a motion, trustee Belcher, second by trustee Norwood. Clerk Key, please call the roll.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher. Aye. Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood. Aye. Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay. Next, I'll ask for a motion that we approve items D, E, F, and G. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Trustee Belcher, the motion, trustee Norwood, second. Any discussion at this time?
Yes,
Trustee Belcher?
just for clarity and transparency, because I'm sure everybody be asking why we're taking out a loan, even though you stated it. The Cook County taxes are delayed right now. We have not received Cook County bills. So when those bills are late, that means that we will receive funding late. They don't have an anticipated time or when the bills are actually be going out. So we're being proactive to make sure that we stay afloat. So we may not even have to take the $4.4 million out, but we're trying to be proactive to make sure that when we do, when it gets to that point that we need to do it, because we know that right now the county is behind on sending out the property tax bills.
Okay. So you heard Kiana Belcher give the explanation on, and thank you, Jerry Liscombe, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. It is appreciated. Anytime you donate to this platform, it goes directly back into this platform, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we heard Kiana Belcher's explanation of why they wanted to take out a loan for funding a $4.4 million loan from Wintrust Bank because Cook County was going to be late with their tax payouts to the villages. And I guess my comment is kind of twofold, right? My first comment is they're saying they're taking out in anticipation of Cook County being late. And so they need to keep operating. My question is, you were operating before Cook County was late, and Dolton has been behind on a lot of things since Tiffany was in office for 4 years. So what makes this situation that the Cook County may be late? And it's a maybe, it's not a for sure. There was something she said listed on the website that they were late, but they haven't, behind, but they haven't heard any other communication. And if so, that is a Cook County, issue. I feel like they have been operating before this. And my other question is, and I don't know if you guys are thinking this item has been put on the agenda. It has been passed, right? So that gives them the authorization to take out the $4.4 million loan. They are saying just in case they need it, right? This is the authorization just in case they need it. However, this item will never show up on an agenda again or in a meeting because they already passed it. So how will the residents know if they took the loan out if it's already been passed and doesn't have to go back on an agenda to explain it to the residents? How will the message get out to the residents that you took the loan out? Because it's already been approved. It's not something that you have to put on the agendas again. You have the authorization to do it already. So how would the residents then know if you did do it? Because it no longer has to be brought up or talked about again because it's already been approved. Permission has already been given. Right, French rent. So if you get the money, they're saying they haven't done it yet, right? But will you alert the community before you do it? Will you put it back on the agenda? You don't have to. It's not a have to because it's already been passed. You won't know until they release the annual audit report. Correct. But why should we have to wait until then, right? To find that out. How will you communicate to the residents that you went ahead and did this action? Or will you communicate that to the residents? And if so, when will that be communicated? Will that be communicated the day before you go and get this money? or will it be communicated after you you get the money? And then when the Cook County money comes, how much is the Cook County money for? Is the Cook County money for the $4.4 million? So what are you saying? You're going to take the $4.4 million that the Cook County gave you and automatically pay the loan off? What's going to happen? Right, Deb Hill. Now you picking up what I'm putting down. Right? What's going to happen? When will we know this? Because they already voted to raise the water rate and to raise the sales taxes, right? Then if you take out this loan, which we may or may not know about because it's already been approved to do so, and you mentioned it, in this meeting, and I understand we moving forward, right? Everybody wants to move forward. Everybody wants to be positive. But how do we positively move forward without discussing the things that make us uncomfortable? Without discussing the things that we need to discuss? Right? This is why marriages fall apart. Lack of communication. Honest, open communication. Well, I didn't like that. Because we don't want to upset one person or another. But this is what you call adulting, right? This is what you call adulting. You have to talk about these uncomfortable things. You have to be uncomfortable in some conversations and just address things head on. So, yes, we want to be positive. There are loads of positive things happening in Dolton. You're getting qualified people into your positions that are critical to the village. You are getting things repaired that need to be repaired. Those are all great things. But we still need to discuss these things that are not right. Residents ask at public comment or FOI or call mayor or trustees. Well, some people's FOIs are being answered and some people's are not. I've actually FOI'd some things and none of my FOIs have been answered. I'm not even sure that FOI email works. Or maybe it does work and they're just not answering my particular FOIs. But why not? Because that's just something that was being done during Tiffany's time. And we were assured that was not going to be happening going forward. But Conscious put up in her video a very interesting email that came from Clerk Key. You should go to Conscious's page and look at that video where she puts up her response email from the clerk about FOIs. They're going to have to pay interest on the loan even if they receive the tax money. Correct. But, anybody that is not talking positively about Dolton and that is not, on board with we're only going to talk about the positive things and we're going to ignore the negative things, those people are being labeled as people who are against the administration. And that's a whole lie. I'm going to say it right here. It has been told to me that you all don't like me, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to be heard on behalf of the residents. As a public servant, you really shouldn't be saying you don't like someone when they never did anything, but try to put out the truth and be right and be on the side of right. But if I'm going to fight for the truth and right and justice on one hand, I'm going to do it on the other. I'm going to do it when it involves people that I really like. I'm going to do it then too. So if this is what we're doing, then this is what we're doing. Enrique, don't do that. Don't do that. Listen, sometimes y'all be shooting the messenger that be bringing the message. That then sometimes you just need to eat the chicken and leave the bones. Don't be worried about, just listen to people's information. Just listen to their information. Take your feelings out of it. Take your feelings that you don't like this person or whatever. Take your feelings out of it and say, is the information good? I even say the same thing about that person that keep talking about me. Huh? If the information is good, okay. But if the information is not good, then don't take that in. I have no problems with anyone putting out information that is true and correct. That's never an issue with me. I can listen to people and not be concerned that I don't like them. I'm listening for information. I'm not listening because I like them. I'm just listening for the information and the knowledge, and then I'll sort out if I feel like it's right or it's wrong. But if you can show me something on the screen, then you probably have a better chance of convincing me of what you're saying. I can look at it, I can see it. This is what it is. So those are the questions that I had about that action item. Now, for a minute, let's go to the township. Now, that at the township last night, I feel like, I feel that was a circus of a different kind. We are used to the circus with Tiffany where, it's always hostile, it's always over exaggerated, it's always some sort of theatrics, right? And so we're used to that, right? But that's not what you're seeing here. You're seeing people being very calm, just very, oh, I'm gonna ignore it. Oh, I'm not gonna respond in that kind of way. Dismissive, if you will. And that's fine because that's one way to, people have all different types of coping mechanisms. And I think I was fine with everything that was said, except for the supervisor's report. And there will be people that will say, well, I bet he don't give a shit. Okay, well, neither do I. So sit back and listen to what I got to say. And then do with it what you will. I don't care. Okay? I know that's right, Diane. That is correct. Is it illegal to talk TT in the back instead of out at a meeting? Deb Hill, that's what I'm about to discuss, right? So let's go to, you know what, matter of fact, because again, you have a whole media team and center there, and we still can't see Thornton Township meetings live, right? Child, I don't even understand that. Matter of fact, I'm going to have to go back to my page. Hold on. Let me go back to my page, this one. And let's go to what the supervisor. This is just a small detour. We're gonna get to we're gonna get there to the Dalton issue, but I wanted to make a comment on this. So we're gonna go all the way to the supervisor's report. I feel like he paraded. This is the first time that we heard from the department heads, right? They all made reports, and magically they all were in the room that night, and everybody had a whole bunch of positive things to say. And then they ended it up with Emmanuel. He's outreach, and oh my God, this is a beautiful place. Child, there was a lot of propaganda going on in the room last night, and the clerk is still looking for her claps. Child, Miss still looking for her claps. you know, I okay, so now we at the supervisors. Uh, and I'm gonna tell you the sound in there goes in and out because it literally it's like something interferes with your signal in there in that basement. This sound is horrible. Oh my god. Let me just paraphrase what he said. It reminded me of a Tiffany speech when he began to talk and say that we are very professional and we are we um we don't be out here arguing and we don't um we don't do any of that. We try to work things out um before uh it gets here, before we get here. And that is my question too, Deb Hill. Is that lawful? Right? Is it lawful for you all to be talking? Um, is it in a group setting? How are you all having these discussions? At the same time, I think that they are trying to imply um that we want to see them argue, that we want to see a fight. No, we don't want to see a fight. We want to see a discussion on public events about public money using public property in a public place by our public servants. That's is that enough public for you? That's what we want to hear. We want to hear an intelligent discussion about the topics or the agendas or whatever packet information that you received because we don't get any of that information. So we would like to know that the people that were elected to do this job are actually reading through the agendas and asking the appropriate questions. I mean, if we could get an agenda packet and be able to understand what you understand, then we may not be saying some of the things that we are saying. But at the same time, if someone has questions, we want to hear what the questions are and how you resolved it. What a healthy debate. No one is asking anyone to argue. That is where I think they have the misconception that we want people to be arguing in a whole bunch of chaos like when Tiffany was there, when it's actually the opposite. Some of us actually enjoy intellectual debate and would like to know, are you knowledgeable on the things that is being given to you in these agenda packets? Are you knowledgeable on the resolutions? Are you knowledgeable on the programs? Do you have a full understanding of how money is being spent on on the programs, on events, what people are asking for? So, I don't believe that anybody wants to see any more fights or any more arguments or people being degraded. But what I am tired of hearing is a supervisor sit in that seat and scold the public like we don't have the right to ask questions. Like we don't have the right to be upset about not knowing. For me, this is just another version of Tiffany. This is another version of you mind your business and I'm in control of this. Correct, Wyoming gal. And any communication from what residents report and request. Yeah, for me, it's what I said. We want a public discussion about public money, about public events, on public property from public servants. That's what we want. You don't have to be at each other's throats for that. You don't have to be at each other's throats to say, may I be recognized, supervisor? I'd like to give the public or the people that elected me a little bit more information about this resolution. Or I'd like to give the public a little bit more information about this event or this program. Or I would like to give the public a little bit more information about this person since they may not know who this person is or what their job is. I just want to give them a little bit more insight into that since I've read in the packet XYZ. No, that's called giving us your fiduciary responsibility. That's called being accountable to the people who elected you. That's what that's called. It needs to be in the meeting minutes. I don't think I've seen any meeting minutes yet. And they did, Deb Hill. They did. Every chance they got, they was at that podium talking about they want to know what happened to the money. They want to know how much is being spent on this. They want to know what this is about. What is this for? But now all of a sudden, we don't need to know what it's for. We talked about it in the background, and that's none of your business what we talked about. That's very disrespectful. If you had a child that spoke to you like that, you probably knocked their head between the washer and the dryer for being disrespectful. I'm just saying. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask for a proper discussion. I also have another question. Are they following the Roberts Rules of Order? Are we using the Roberts Rules of Order? Is that in effect? Is that what is it? Because if that is the case, if we are using the Roberts Rules of Order, then any new business should be on the agenda only as a discussion. It should wait until the next meeting and be a vote. I don't know that I see any of that happening either. Ryan had an excellent point yesterday about never going to have a comment from the board. Yeah, especially not about that forensic audit. Huh? Okay. Yes, condescending behavior is a red flag, a huge one if you ask me. Because to suggest that as an adult, and it's senior adults in there, to suggest that an adult does not have the right to ask a question because you don't want them questioning you about information that should be public knowledge anyway. I don't know. I don't know about that. That's what I have to say about that in the supervisor's report. And he does it every time. He does it every time he makes a report. I almost wish that he would not make a report because I'm sick of hearing that. We are professional. We are up here giving you professionalism. Well, we didn't ask you not to give us professionalism. What we asked you to do was give us information. We didn't ask you not to give us professionalism. I don't think anybody would ask for that. What they would ask for would be a healthy discussion centered around the items that are on the agenda. And it just astounds me that we are still hearing this same rhetoric about mind your business in a subliminal kind of way. I'm over it. Because what are we doing? Well, we know what you're doing, Senator. What is the board doing? Because you just being a senator. That's what you're doing. That's what senators do. They disregard their constituents until they need their vote. And then when they need their vote, they come down to where they are and have a nerve to ask them for their vote. And we give it to them. Well, not we, because I don't. Because if you can't answer my email or something like that that I send a request for, you will not get my vote again. They should want to know the true state of the finances unless they want to blame the previous administration for their failures. You know, I don't know how to explain this because I don't know how you continue to operate. The explanation that he gave about the forensic audit. So the meeting before this one, he addressed the forensic audit and said that the township was still, being investigated by the FBI. Questions were still being asked. And, I don't know why they feel like people believe that. This is what I'm going to say. Because here's the thing. Whether Kasperick or Robert Hunt is let go from the village, guess what? The FBI can still talk to them. They can still investigate them. If you're worried about them cooperating, if they're not cooperating now, what is the difference? You might as well let them go. Let's get this forensic audit started and let the FBI deal with them in their home because they're not answering any questions anyway. But keeping people under the guise that the FBI is still doing investigation is nuts. Because I know one thing, people not working at the job they was working at that was being investigated by the FBI ain't never stopped them from continuing their investigation. Never. So, for me, and you know what, I'm not gonna let Nate off the hook either, because where is Nate? He not been to the meetings. When he was running for office, he said he had been to every meeting. He definitely can't say that now. He haven't even come and made a comment. I mean, the one day he did come and they denied him, to sign the paper. Why you didn't come back to the next meeting and be on time and sign the paper and make a comment and show the residents that you are still here, you're still fighting. And I mean, if he wanted to, he could take a dig and say, I told you so, if that's what he wanted to do. Right, French. I mean, are you giving me that much worth of work? I can't even ask no questions or get any answers. I mean, you're taking it as an insult if we just ask questions. For me, that makes me feel like I need to ask more questions. Because how are you insulted by a question? How are you insulted by me asking about the process? I'm still stuck on that. we're professional. Nobody's asking you to be unprofessional. We're asking for a public discussion. And all debates don't have to be arguments. Debates are not arguments. They are discussions where people share their points. I don't know. That's what I got to say about that. Now, we are going to do a few things. The first thing we're going to do is I need you guys to tell me if you can hear. We're gonna move to what happened in Dolton with the balloon release shooting. Hey, collectibles for sale by, how are you? Yeah, Winky Wonder. Very defensive. What's with the trustees answering questions? Gonzalez used to be very approachable. Some people say that he's not. I actually have not. I can't say that he's not approachable. I actually have not approached him with any questions. So I can't really tell you how approachable he is because I haven't asked him anything. But, coming soon, I will because I have a few questions that I'd like to know about some items. And really, it's a few logistical questions that would be employee questions. We already know that the supervisor told us that we're not going to tell him who to hire and this, that, and the third. Fine by me. We're not going to tell you who to hire, but the township has criteria and we can make sure that you follow that. Because there's an ordinance that says that anybody that works for the township has to live in the township. Or at least I have to find the ordinance. I have it. I just need to find it. When people have things to hide, they'd rather hide or not ask questions. Okay, so what I need y'all to do is tell me if y'all can hear this. I'm about to play something. I'm about to play this. Hold on 1 second. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it. Because StreamYard be acting foolish. Can y'all hear it? I'm gonna wait for y'all to answer because I know it's a lag. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold the line, please. StreamYard, boy, this thing costs too much. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me though, right? Y'all can hear me though, right? Okay. Hold the line, please. Boy, I'm gonna go off on StreamYard. Y'all don't know how much this stuff costs. This is insane. I'm about to get them. But hold on. I'm gonna be right back, okay? Hold on.
Just jump in the queue. It's down to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue. It's hella to you. All in the queue. Just check out the view. All in the queue.
Okay, let's try it again. Hold on 1 second. Hold the line, please. You know it's always something trying to get us out of the. All right, we're gonna try it again. And y'all gonna tell me if y'all can hear it this time.
A triple shooting just before a balloon release, often used for memorials. That release tonight was set to take.
All right, y'all let me know if y'all can hear that. Okay, y'all can hear it this time. Okay, let's watch this.
Place in South suburban Dolton. CBS Skywatch captured the scene near 151st and Cornell. Police say the suspect was waiting in nearby bushes before opening fire. We're told all 3 victims are expected to survive. So far, no arrests.
All right. All right, now this is the other one that we need to watch. Y'all see it?
South suburbs, 3 people were shot at a balloon release.
Yeah, the gunman apparently waiting in the wings to begin this assault. Our Lauren Victory is live this morning outside of Dolton Police with developing details about what happened here. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Marissa and Adrina. Well, we're told that the 3 people shot are recovering from non-life-threatening injuries. They are expected to survive. This balloon release was happening at near 151st and Cornell in Dolton last night around 7 o'clock. That celebration of life never started. Police say someone with a gun was hiding in the bushes as a crowd of about 25 to 30 people started forming. That's when the shooter stepped out and opened fire, releasing 30 to 40 rounds. CBS Skywatch shows multiple evidence markers in the street. This appears to have happened in a residential area. We're told the victims were grieving a former Dolton resident, but that person's identity, as well as the names and ages of those injured, haven't been released. The gunman is still on the loose. We are awaiting more details here at the Dolton Police Department about that shooter as well as those victims, and we'll keep you posted as that information comes in. Reporting live in Dolton, I'm Lauren Victory, CBS News Chicago.
South suburbs, 3 people were shot.
All right. So we have that. I just wanted you all to get, some parts of the story before we watch. Let me see what y'all saying. Hold on. What was the balloon release for? It was for somebody else who lost their life, Winky Wonder. Dawn police work for the circus. They just wear the uniform, but don't help solve or help anybody. There are dangerous criminals running loose in Dolton. Okay, so we're going to talk about everything after we watch this video comes from Facebook. I'm going to play my disclaimer, okay, before I played the video, because viewer discretion is advised. Viewer discretion is advised. If you have underage children in the room, please do not watch this with them, okay? We're going to watch the video from this video I got from Facebook. I actually got the video from, I think it was Chi-Town Crime Chasers. And so we're going to watch the video that was on Facebook. We watched the 2 news pieces that told us what was happening, and now let's watch the Facebook. Hold on. Hold the line, please.
Get the fuck back! Get back! Get back! Go fucking Stop fucking
They tasing the shit out somebody out here. Jeff, I'm trying to record. They just sprayed them. They been they tased them and sprayed them. But he gone in the house and he can't see. Close that door so the house don't get full of bugs.
He was down here and I got the neighbor.
Oh, there he is. That's him in that black shirt, ain't it?
No, he was right there.
No, that was that chubby guy. That was a little chubby fella. Please close the door so we don't get full of mosquitoes. They still tasting it.
They ain't got it up high.
What are you giving me your...
Jeffrey.
You didn't say that. You just went here, Jeffrey. The more cops sound like they're coming.
They finally came. What was all that? Everybody back in the house, they still. All right. Tell me, sometimes I get done, I'm pushing on your legs. That's what he's looking for. They're looking for something.
God damn, the whole force, ain't it? That's Calumet City? Who here calling me now? I have to call him back.
Okay, Winky Wonder, you asked the question, was it retaliation? If it's a balloon release, the person had already passed, so I can't tell you if it was a retaliation or anything. It could have been a beef between somebody that the person hiding in the bushes knew was going to be at this particular place at this particular time. I have no idea, and those details were not released in either one of the news things that we saw from CBS. These are my observations, right? These are my observations. I'm not an expert. I'm not in law enforcement, but these are my observations. And I'm going to give my observations. These are my observations. My first observation, let's talk about the incident from the Facebook video, right? I feel like the officers, they did a decent job with what they had to deal with. I think there was more people than officers, right? So the ratio was off as far as them being able to control the people that they had at this scene. So that's the first thing for me. I think the first thing that they should have done if they didn't have any other officers available is to have immediately called for officers from Calumet City, which would be the closest city to that place, to that part, and also from South Holland to come and assist them. And let them know, hey, we short on officers. Right now, we have a large scene out here and we need some assistance. And so that was a little for the last video, and I'm confused. I think the video that you saw there was, the scene of it unfolding of what was happening. You had people arguing, fighting after whatever happened. And so they were trying to get, everybody under control. And I'm sure that when they showed up to the scene, they were confused and didn't know what had happened either. And so just with all the people yelling, pointing, looked like there was two opposing sides going at each other or whatever. So, for me, and these are my observations, the police are there to de-escalate situations, right? They are there to protect and serve, and de-escalate when they're coming into some sort of a crime scene or scene, that they have got to get the scene under control. That to me should have been the first thing, whether you had to put everybody in handcuffs that was acting irrational until you could figure out who you can let out of cuffs. That's what I would have done. But I definitely was looking for them to call backup sooner than backup came. I'm sure that they called, someone called because more officers showed up. But I don't know. I think I would have asked the dispatch to get a little bit more information, because I'm sure the scene sounded chaotic even on the call. But that's neither here nor there. I think that they did a pretty good job with what they had, and I can commend them for not using lethal force to restrain anyone. So they had to use their tasers, and I'm glad for that because nobody is mourning anybody else after this call. So that's what I want to say, about that right there. That is the most important part, that neither officer or any other person was harmed once they showed up, right? So I think, they did the best they could with the amount of officers that they had. Would I have done things a little differently? Yeah, I told you I would have put everybody in handcuffs that was irrational and not listening. Handcuff, sit down on this curb. Handcuff, sit down on this curb. You want to be in handcuffs? Because you can be in handcuffs too. Oh, okay, go back to your porch if you're not involved, or I'll come and talk to you in a minute. Stay over there, right? But, I saw some of the officers lose it. And I think it was a new officer. So I feel like this should be a training video for them. But let me tell you what kind of saddened me, right? That there was no press conference by the new police chief. This was covered by the news. It's something that has probably since gone viral on social media. No gunman has not been arrested from the police report, the news reporter, from what she is saying. And I was looking for a press conference or at least a statement released. I looked for one on the Dolton website, but I didn't see any type of statement released. And I understand that you cannot respond to everything that's on social media, but 3 people were pew-pewed and hurt, right? And then when you see this scene and nobody's in custody. So I expected, if you listen to what happened, the resident seemed to know who it was. Possibly. I mean, it's the residents that typically have all of the information. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. But I didn't see any communications on the website as far as a statement, either from the police chief or from the mayor about this particular incident, which did occur, involve 3 people being shot and taken to the hospital. And so I was looking for a statement on the village page, at least, saying that we are working actively. This is an active investigation. We are actively working with the community to bring this person to justice. We are glad that no one was harmed. This is the Village of Dolton's page. I didn't see any type of, communications about this incident. Let me check under the police and fire department tab to see if they have they hiring. Let's see what else. Nothing there. They're hiring. Who to call? Mission statement. Mission statement for the fire department. Yeah, I don't see any press releases or comments on the website about this incident. And that's one thing that I probably was concerned about, that no one is giving a statement about, at least acknowledging that, some people was harmed, and for that they are grateful that they weren't it wasn't they weren't lethally harmed, but that you are actively investigating and you're asking for the public's help. If you have any information, contact the police department. This is a top priority, as safety for the residents is our number one concern. That's what I was expecting, to either hear in a press conference, especially with the new police chief. This was a perfect opportunity to be able to let people know you're going to be on top of situations that escalate this large and are this big. And like I said, of course, no, you can't respond to every little thing on social media, but I don't consider this something little, right? 3 people were shot. Someone was hiding in the bushes. This was an ambush of some sort. And thankfully no one was unalived, and no one was unalived after either, and so yeah, like I said, I think that we all want to be positive and move forward, and I think there are positive steps being taken to move forward, and we should continue to do those things, but we have to do those things and be mindful that we can't ignore things that need to be addressed either. Right? It's part of the job to have to address things that we don't want to address, or that we don't feel like we need to address, but maybe we need to address it because we are in a social media or a media age where people are on social media looking at things, and things pop up on there. What are you all's thoughts about this situation? I want to know what you all's thoughts about this situation, and then we're going to talk about one more thing. And look at that, kept it to an hour and 30 minutes. I'm doing a crackerjack job today. And so you guys let me know your thoughts on any of this. We're going to have a call-in show at the end of the week for these various topics and things. But you all let me know. Let me know what concerns you about, what we're seeing and what we're witnessing in Dolton. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back. The residents have the key to all that. It already been an hour and a half. Yeah, yeah, almost is an hour and 18 minutes according to this. Let me go back. Okay, I want to go back here to the Dolton website, because I want to go back to, let me go back to so we have this transparency tab, which I was very excited for, because I feel like, okay, good, we won't have to ask for anything. But now look, now you got a FOIA for it. Now you're not gonna get a transparency tab. You have to FOIA for it. That's what you're being told. And I told you I sent in some FOIAs to this FOIA address, didn't get a response, and didn't get my FOIA. So you have the budgets up here just to 2022. You have the audits. I believe they're still working on those. And then you have corporate bills from 2017 to 2018. Nothing current in that department. In expenditures, we just have that stuff came from Tiffany's time, but nothing current. And so, you know, if we're going to call out one, we got to call them all out. Hey, Jerome Street, how are you? I hope you good. Let's see. They seem to get more aggressive when the cops arrived. And that may be so because, Enrique, these people know these police officers. Some of them have a history with them. Some of them not so good experiences with them, right? I've heard lots of stories about Officer Gist. However, I've never had a bad experience with him, but a lot of people have, right? A lot of people have had a bad experience with the other officer that received an award with him. Some people have had bad experiences with him. The officer that was in the Concerned Dolton residents video, the one that was up here about her neighbor, his name is Officer Weathers, and you see how he acted with her, right? So these residents know these officers, and they, some of them have had issues with them. And so, and two, we did see that one police officer practically yelled expletives at one person. I understand that things are heated, but you still have to be mindful, right? People are going crazy. I just want to stay home. Time flies when you're having a good time. Well, thank you, Enrique. The police don't have a spokesperson. Well, French, they have a new police chief now. And they should have an information officer. Between the two of them, anybody can do the press conference or whoever they deem. Conscious has been complaining about this website for some time. Yeah. Yes, all the residents of the village and laws of the state. Hey, Charlie girl, how you doing? Don't do that one because you're how you doing, Charlie girl? So, I don't know. Like I said, if we're going to call it out about one person, we have to call it out about everybody. This is, for me, this is not about who is in the seat. This would be anybody that was there for me. I don't care. I don't care who's sitting in the seat. If you're not doing, the transparency things and things that you should be doing according to the Illinois statutes, then I'm going to be talking about you and I'm going to be talking about it. So, for me, I just feel like it's, we have to stop saying, oh, we want to be positive. We'll do positive things. Do the things that you said you were going to do. And I feel like it's a bit of a distraction to be asking people to be, say positive things about things that are not affecting, taxes or water bills or any of those things like events. Those things don't, affect me. You having an event, okay, great. That's great for the residents. Definitely need a community type vibe, but also we need to, know certain things too. So I just, I'm just very disappointed that, for me, you never have to be fake to me. I'm always going to be who I am. I'm going to be a genuine person and I'm going to be about my business. But I don't bother people who don't want to be bothered. I don't do that. And, so now with this thing, I just do what I need to do for my channel. I report on what I need to report on, or I talk about, I'm talking about the topic like everybody else is talking about the topic, if they're talking about it. I find it interesting that injustice can find no rest, but they resting right now. Don't have loose dog, ambush shooter, tax problem. Yeah, French Rich, we got to start facing some of these subjects and some of these things and just handle them and do them. It's tough. Is it tough? Yeah. Is it uncomfortable? Yeah. But that's part of being an adult. You just have to, you got to face what you have to face and deal with what you have to deal with. And if you did something wrong or you're doing something wrong, just apologize for it and get it right. People will give you grace if you do it in the right way. That's the way I feel about it. This is not about, I'm not against anyone. Matter of fact, let me tell you, Blue Black, he's always gonna be my favorite because he's so funny and he hugs me every time I see him. Every time I see him, he's the same. And I know everybody have their opinion about Stan, but like I told you, some people, they good people and they good to talk to, but they're not good politicians or they shouldn't be in a seat of authority. But they're good people to be around. I have a question off topic, but it's about Dolton. Go ahead, Wyoming gal. We at the end now. Y'all can ask whatever you want. We're gonna have a call-in show at the end of the week. I need to tell y'all about some of the shows that we're gonna have coming up. I'm gonna wait for your question though. I'm still waiting for Wyoming gal's question. I'm a little afraid of it now because there's such a. I'm gonna look down here at this one. Well, while I wait for Wyoming gal to ask her question, we're gonna have I would say a bit of a in-depth talk about this administration. We're over 100 days in. As Napoleon told us last night, we are actually 114. And Jason is actually more than 114 days because he got sworn in before Napoleon did. So they're at 100 and maybe 20 days plus. Okay, let me see what Wyoming guy said. I was watching Nate the lawyer, and some of his stuff is controversial. The Dolton Trustees YouTube was in the chat. How do you feel about that? I feel like this, and it was said, right? I feel that Nate the lawyer has a whole bunch of followers. He has over 20,000 followers. He has lots of followers, right? How many followers does he have? He has lots of followers, right? And so because of that reason, I'm insignificant. That is why the hobo advocate says what he says, because these are the things that they say, probably to him and in the background behind my back, that my channel is nothing. I only have 2,000 followers and I'm insignificant. Nate the lawyer doesn't live here. Hannibal doesn't live here. Lady Luck Club doesn't live here. I think Dear World Question changed the name of his platform, but he doesn't live here either. I do live here. I do attend meetings, right? And so this is how it's been, and Jed has more followers than I do. And a lot of other people do too. So they consider my platform insignificant. And that's fine. That's just fine. I don't feel any type of way about that, really, to be honest with you, because I live here. I live here and I can go to the meetings. Only thing Nate lawyer can do is comment on the meetings. He does not live here. So he can never be in person at a meeting unless he flies here. And so, and if he's a lawyer, I think he's a real lawyer, then that's another reason why they may be over there. And that's fine too. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's fine too. I don't feel any type of way, about that, to be honest with you. I do the best that I can on this platform. I give my commentary. It's my view from living here and being here and traveling to these places. I really don't. I don't know what to tell you. And so they, and everybody watches who they watch. Nate the lawyer has good content. He has great content. Nate the lawyer always had Ed Steve on his show during Tiffany time. Yeah, Ed Steve, I think, runs that page. He runs the social media pages. He's over like the media and stuff like that. I don't know why. I mean, I don't feel any type of way about that, to be honest with you. I mean, like I said, I don't bother people who don't want to be bothered. I'm also not going to run a narrative to people either. Yeah, Deb here. I'm also not going to, run a narrative or, whatever. I'm just going to, we all report on information that is given to us, from one source or another, unless we FOI for it, But if you, like I said, I've sent in FOIs. They have not been answered. So it is what it is. It seems odd that it's Dolton trustees. It's Ed. He should use his own name. Well, you never know. He could be speaking for the group. And they could be okay with it. I only can tell you. I mean, they go on somebody else's platform too. They okay with that person. Whatever they may be doing. I'll leave it at that. People, like I said, people can say whatever they want to say. They can do whatever they want to do. They got that right. They have that right to do that. I don't feel any type of way about it. I just try to give an honest, true perspective from the information that I have. I don't make any speculations or anything. But he has a large platform, so they will stay in contact and be, active on people's platforms that have a large reach, which is great. You got to get your message out. Anybody else? I'm just not gonna be offended by any much anymore. I got so many things coming up. Let's talk about a few shows that I want to do coming up. A few shows that I want to do coming up. I want to talk about we're going to do a comparison of the last administration to this current administration. And I want everyone to keep in mind that in Tiffany's administration, at the very beginning of her administration, her first controversy was surrounded by the police. Her first issue as in mayor really came, and it had something to do with the police and the police department. And it was the unalivement of Alexis Wilson. So, with True checking out every single angle you do. Yeah. So, I want to start taking a look at the last administration versus this new administration, what things are the same and what things are different. And I'm going to say this again. Tiffany started out her administration as the mayor of Dolton with issues and incidents surrounding the police department. Alexis Wilson, justice forever for Alexis Wilson. Her first unalivement was Alexis Wilson. Her first issues in office were surrounded by the police department. The police department was a huge issue at the very beginning of her tenure. And she did not know how to handle it or what to do. And she didn't do anything. She did not do anything. And she definitely did not handle it correctly. So I want to, have a conversation, a healthy conversation. We're going to do the goods and the bads and the uglies. I got sidetracked. Her son's. Don't think that at all, Winky Wonder. You got it. So I want to have a conversation and an introspection and an outrospection about this administration, the last administration, and this administration. So I hope that that's a conversation that you all want to be a part of. And then we're going to talk. We're probably going to run that as like a series, right? And, just take things step by step. And Tiffany was too young and inexperienced for her position. All of those things, but also she was hard-headed and she didn't want to listen. That was another issue, is that she did not want to listen to sound counsel, right? She didn't want to listen and have people tell her what to do. I feel like that's the way she saw things, that people were trying to tell her what to do. If she had listened and kind of been able to be mentored, maybe this would be a different conversation. But she was not able to do that, right? Correct, French. I mean, she was hit with a lot of things after that. It was misappropriate. It was the trips. It was the misappropriation of funds. It was, this Miss Duke situation. The unlawful or the wrongful terminations also. So it was like a series of domino effects once the Alexis Wilson thing. But the Alexis Wilson thing to me was the catalyst for all of the failings afterwards, because she did not handle that correctly. All right, and the next thing that I want to talk about is the National Guard, right? I want to talk about the National Guard because I sent the National Guard an email asking, can you see this? Asking for an interview. It says request for interview for all in the queue. Then it says my name. Everybody knows my name anyway. So it says, Miss Christmas, thank you for reaching out to the Illinois National Guard. We have considered your request to have one of our leaders appear on the All in the Queue podcast. At this time, we must decline your invitation. The Illinois National Guard has not received an activation order or a preparatory command, so we don't have anything specific to discuss. We generally enjoy talking about the soldiers, airmen, missions, and capabilities, but at this time, we want to avoid adding speculation to the public discussion. Please reach back out to us if the National Guard does receive an order or the present situation sufficiently quiets down. Thank you, Dutch. And the Major has been an absolute excellent person, right? So I will be reaching back out to them if they get orders. You saw him tell me that they will come on. If they get orders, they will come on. Because in my reasoning for having them on, right, is because we want to get answers directly from the source, correct? Right? Over here, we want to have the answers coming directly from the source. And I think that a lot of people are confused about what the National Guard will and will not be able to do once and if they are called in, right? Because the National Guard actually has no powers to arrest anyone. They cannot arrest anyone. I'm going to say that again. The National Guard cannot arrest anyone. Okay? So, but we want to get answers directly from, the National Guard, if and when they are so called here to Illinois, to Chicago. We want to get answers directly from them, what their mission is, what are they being called to do, here. And so I will definitely be reaching back out to them if I hear or see. I am monitoring the news and things. And if they get orders to come here, I will be reaching back out to them for the interview to do so. Once they stop talking about it in the news media, about the National Guard and all of this stuff, then I'll reach back out to them because they just want things to be quieted down before they come on. And so I really want to clear up a lot of myths that are out there about what they can do, what they can't do, and what they'll be here to do. The good thing is if they do get orders to come to Chicago, right, then we can find out what those orders are in the interview because they will be able to tell us. These are the orders that we got. This is the mission. This is what we are tasked to do. This is what we will be doing. And no, we won't be doing anything outside of that or whatever they're going to tell us. Let me see what y'all saying. I love that you reached out to the National Guard. That shows you are here to educate. That would be a great interview. Yeah, I feel like it would be a great interview. I would like to incorporate Martin G into the interview as well. I've asked him if he wants to be a part of the interview because he was talking about this topic on his platform, right? And I would want him to be able to ask the questions directly that he had and just, be able to add to the conversation because he's been talking about this for a minute on his channel. And so, yeah, I mean, even the fact that they responded, and Dutch has been great. He gave me his phone number too. So I have his phone number to speak with him, when things die down or if they get orders. And so, that was great. And I'm glad for that. And so I will be reaching back out to him to get that interview once things calm down. And or they get orders. So those are kind of some of the coming conversations that we're going to be having, along with attending, different events and in meetings and things of that nature. And I'm going to be circling back to Tinley Park because there are loads of things going on there that those residents are now starting to realize and wake up to. And this is going to be an interesting update for you all that were kind of, with me on that journey when the mayor was attacking me. And let's just say he no longer attacks me, but I still get up under his skin because I still go over there on that Tinley page and I make comments. And he is still derogatorily and negatively speaking on Diane. And I went on there the other day and I said, where do you ever see any of these other mayors on social media degrading the residents that put them in the seat or that they serve? So even if she didn't vote for you, you still answer to her. So why should you even be doing that? And then right now, so let's talk about the Tinley mayor a little bit because me and him, we got issues. Right now, currently, their police officers have not had a contract for 5 years. This is a 2-term mayor. Now the police are speaking out against the current police chief, and they have given a vote of no confidence to their police chief. This sound familiar? Vote of no confidence in Tinley for the police chief, and they still have no contract. And the mayor is on social media talking derogatorily about the police department. Now, where they do that at? Where did they do that? And these people have to literally protect you when you call 911. So there is something going on there. We have a vote of no confidence for the police chief in Tinley Park. If you were not aware, that is a thing. Is happening. And they still do not have a contract. Okay, Dave Bryson? But just in another part of town with more money. Do you hear me? That don't make any sense. I hate the violence has escalated to need the National Guard. We're going to talk about this National Guard thing. Remember, the Louisiana governor gave the National Guard shoot to kill orders during the Hurricane Katrina aftermath. Who is that? Diane Reeves. We're going to, when they come on this platform, okay, we're going to ask them about those types of things. Because I don't think that that's something that he can specifically tell them to do. But we'll find out. We want to make sure that we get it right, and we want to know the true and correct answer, right? So for that reason, when they come on this platform, we will ask them that question. Do they ever receive those types of orders? If they do, is that something that they follow? What is the procedure? What we need to know is the protocol, because the military, they run off a protocol. They don't just go directly to shoot to kill. There are steps that they have to take. It's still like an escalation thing. So we need to find out what they do. Does the police chief serve at the appointment of the mayor? Yes, he does. I mean, every mayor can appoints their police chief. So yes. Okay. So we're going to talk about the National Guard. We're going to talk about people's comments on social media about the National Guard. Because listen, the National Guard, if I am being honest, they don't want to come here because these YNs, for people that don't know what YNs is, these youngins, they don't respect anyone. These National Guard people is going to come here and get put in harm's way because they're going to shoot at them just like they shoot at the police. They don't have any respect. I don't know what, you know, Chicago is just a different place. We're going to see some of the responses from the residents. We're going to see both sides. We're going to see people who don't want them to come. And we're going to see responses from people who do want them to come. So we're going to talk about that conversation a little bit over here because, you know, who knows if they do get orders to come here, there may be other mayors that request them to come to their city because they have an active mission here and this is the Chicago Southland area. So we'll see. All right. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed this broadcast and this conversation tonight. I know I may not be a native lawyer. I know I'm not a big platform. And hey, there's people unsubscribing for whatever reason, for people talking negatively or derogatorily about me. And I've not been up here talking negatively about anyone. I've not just come on my platform and turn this thing on and just began to disrespect people. That's not what I do over here. But you can't stop people from believing whatever they want to believe. And I just have come to realize that people are going to believe what they want to believe and they're going to do what they want to do. And because of that, this is what you have. You have a good channel that gives loads of good information and educates people and the residents. They don't get the respect that they deserve. And for me, that's okay. Because if my kids, long after I'm gone, if that happens, when they put all in the queue into this YouTube search engine, they will find good videos, good information, and helpful advice. Let me see what y'all saying. I would not want my family member that is National Guard to go to Chicago. I would fear for their safety, and you should. New subscribers will come. Stand strong. Keep up your good content. Good night, all. You're everything to us. Thanks, Dave Peel. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dave Bryson. Thank you, everybody, even the people that are looking and not saying anything. Thank you for tuning in. I wish nothing but blessings for your life. But for anybody that speaks against me, I wish for you the day that you deserve. The day, the night, the hour, the minute, and the second. I wish for you what you deserve. All right. If you can't be good, be quiet. My member only, we got the cold case file. We doing the civil cold case file. I will meet you guys there on Friday evening. Late Friday evening, okay? Woo. And that thing is getting interesting and tight, but that's what we gonna do. Thank you, Jim C. You guys have a great night. Let me put my song on. Hey, I hope you wake up and your dog lick your makeup. I hope you get ready for work and you can't find your shirt. I hope you go on a date and your man asks for face with no face for excuses. I hope he took deuces with no money for bail and you end up in jail, but you live to tell the tale.
We need personal space. Just drop out the race. We need personal space. Just watch what you